The 25-year-old Bible, the Book of Enoch, will take you on a journey to uncover hidden knowledge and chilling mysteries that will send shivers down your spine. This is an immensely controversial text, sparking debates that have lasted for centuries, leaving even angels swaying in a sea of emotions. Brutal giants, bizarre cosmology, and world-changing discoveries. Although this book recounts events that took place before the birth of Jesus Christ, it is not currently included in the Bible. And some scholars do not consider this a source of divine inspiration. However, the book containing these terrifying secrets was discovered in Abyssinia, Ethiopia, in 1773, and recorded in the sacred texts of the Ethiopian Christian Church. This passage is said to contain horrifying knowledge about humanity, including apocalyptic prophecies so terrifying they will make anyone's hair stand on end. What other secrets are hidden within these pages? Join us on the journey to explore the 2005-year-old Bible, revealing the lost chapters with terrifying knowledge about humanity in the Book of Enoch. The Book of Enoch, also known as the Ethiopian Book of Enoch, is a pseudepigraphal work of the Old Testament. The original manuscript of this ancient book was lost in the late 4th century. However, by 1773, it was found once again in Ethiopia. However, the Christian Church in Abyssinia, Ethiopia, still decided to include this book in their biblical canon. For reference in their religious rituals, heretical Christian sects like the Manichaeans enthusiastically incorporated elements of Iranian culture into their beliefs. Greece, Chad, and Egypt also contributed to preserving this book through the ages. Some religious scholars have dismissed this book, claiming it contains inappropriate revelations. God does not grant humans divine inspiration. The ancient Book of Enoch was excluded from the Bible because it contained profound secrets on the formation of the world. This book chronicles the tragic list of fallen angels, along with their brutal and blood-soaked battles, strange cosmic phenomena and unsolved mysteries that biblical scholars still cannot verify. It is believed that the story of Enoch shares certain similarities with Babylonian mythology. This book by Enoch has been confirmed to be a collection of works primarily containing prophetic content. Who is Enoch? Enoch is a biblical figure, a descendant of the patriarchs who lived before the Great Flood. He was a contemporary of Noah, the legendary captain of the ark in the story of the Great Deluge. He was the grandson of Adam, the father of Jared, and the grandfather of Methuselah, the longest-lived person recorded in the Bible. The passage from Genesis chapter 5, verses 21 to 24 records that Enoch walked faithfully with God, and then one day he was no longer on earth because God took him away. This passage was later interpreted by biblical scholars to mean that Enoch ascended to heaven while still alive. According to records, Enoch was about 365 years old when God took him up to heaven. This detail is clearly stated in Genesis, chapter 5, verses 22 to 24. According to the Bible, only Enoch and Elijah were taken directly to heaven by God without experiencing death. Enoch lived a life full of faith and righteousness, remaining faithful to God's will until his last breath. God was moved by his faithful and righteous deeds, so he delivered him from the anguish of facing death. Enoch is a significant figure, appearing as a central theme and pillar in many Jewish and Christian traditions. He is the author of the Book of Enoch and is also regarded as the scribe who recorded the words of judgment. Enoch is mentioned in both the Old Testament, Book of Genesis, and the New Testament, Gospel of Luke, chapter 3, verse 37. Letter to the Hebrews, chapter 11 verse 5 by the Apostle Paul, and the letter of Jude, chapter 1 verse 14. In the Catholic Church, Eastern Orthodox, and Oriental Orthodox churches, Enoch is venerated as a saint, a figure that all Christian believers should emulate. Some Muslim believers compare Enoch to the prophet Idris in the Quran's journey paved the way for Noah. The Dead Sea Scrolls, a work believed to have been written by Enoch, were discovered in a cave in Judea around 1946-1947. Because a Bedouin boy was herding sheep near the cave, a boy throws a stone into a mountain crevice and unexpectedly hears an echo immediately. Out of curiosity, you and your friend entered the cave to explore and unexpectedly discovered many large earthen jars. Among them, 7 contained silk scrolls and papyrus scrolls. Sudian Cave is located near the ancient settlement of Qumran, on the northwestern shore of the Dead Sea. Currently, this area is called the West Bank. Ancient scrolls were purchased by merchants and scholars. These people discovered that the carvings were over 2,000 years old. Many other scrolls were also found in nearby caves. The total number of scrolls and fragments found is estimated to be around 800 to 900 texts. This Enoch book is divided into 5 smaller volumes, called the Books of the Guardians. The Book of Fables, the Book of Astronomy, Dreams and Visions, and the Letters of Enoch. This book series consists of a total of 100 chapters, with Enoch being a collection of particularly meaningful stories. The passage mentions angels, a strange tree, the city of Jerusalem, and the entire universe. But the most interesting part is the story of the fallen angels. Those who have lain with human women, and they gave birth to giants, who were called the Nephilim. Those angels also imparted humanity with the most refined knowledge, resulting in a massive flood and total devastation. Nephilim. This idea originates from the first Enoch book, a unique work in the Jewish book series. However, some opinions suggest that their size is because they carry within them a supernatural essence. Some people believe that one should not trust the idea of angels or demons being able to bear children with humans. Another hypothesis suggests that the Nephilim were actually just ordinary humans who had strayed from the path of righteousness. Some people believe that Seth is the son of God. Adam had a good man in his family, but his Nephilim lineage turned their backs and betrayed God. Thus, Enoch's book has sparked fresh reflections on angels, giants, and humanity. The secret of Enoch, the mysteries hidden within the Enoch book, sound vague and unbelievable to mankind. Those strange phenomena, the enigmatic unverified legends, and the divine-tinged secrets. Ancient biblical scholars excluded the Book of Enoch, making this unsuitable for Christians as well as all of humanity. Is this knowledge truly accurate? Is it genuinely something noble for humanity to embrace? What hidden truths does this book reveal that might challenge humanity's understanding of the spirit world? The book Guide to * by Enoch explores a series of mysteries, including the origins of the milk demon and the Nephilim. The mystery in Genesis, chapter 6 verses 1 to 5, explains the cause of the great flood recorded in the Bible. The law that governs the sun, the moon, the stars, and the wind, as well as the rebellion of angels against the Supreme Being. Why did some angels fall? The mystery surrounding Archangel Uriel. The secrets behind the formation of the Messiah's 1,000-year kingdom and other mysterious legends. The book *Enoch* tells the story of the 200 Watcher angels, who once descended to earth but later turned wicked. This book also mentions the names of some angels along with their leaders. The notable names mentioned include Somayaja, Asian, Ramel, Athakop, Mataran, Anan, and Nephilim. The angels created hybrid beings, a fusion of angels and humans. These angels are described as malevolent guardians in the Book of Enoch. They were called the Wretched Watchers because after their fall from heaven, they descended upon the earth to spread cruel acts upon humanity, corrupting the minds of both men and women. The other guardian angels also descended to earth, marrying human women, creating unnatural unions. Through these marriages, they imparted to humanity forbidden knowledge and skills, things far beyond ordinary human intellect. Some teach the art of war and weapon making, others impart knowledge of celestial phenomena, some instruct in reading the stars to divine omens, and yet others specialize in the study of clouds. Humankind speaks of the cycles of the moon, among which Jekyll Trang Han is one of the wicked guardian angels mentioned in the Book of Enoch. The one who stood behind and incited the other angels to have sexual relations with humans. His underlings, Asbil, Gadadil, Purnamil, and Castday, were all confirmed to be distinct demons, as well as the keepers of sin. The secret of creativity. The creation story is believed to have been directly revealed to Enoch. Before all things came into being, the foundation of everything had already been laid. Then from the empty void and boundless darkness, God created all things. He established his majestic throne for himself and created the heavens and the earth. God created the throne for himself. He turned the large stone from the water's surface into a solid structure floating atop the water. God created all things, from invisible beings of fire to reptiles, birds, fish, beasts, and plants. Finally, he fashioned humankind. This is most evident in verses 28 to 29, when God reveals to Enoch the secrets of the world's creation. The Lord also spoke to Enoch exactly as recorded in Scripture, passages 24 to 26. In paragraph 41, sentences 1 to 3, Enoch shares his personal experience about the creative process while also revealing that the secrets related to the creation disclosed in his book have yet to be verified by biblical scholars. Moreover, many early church fathers also did not recognize its accuracy. Enoch's letter, the final part of the book of Enoch, from chapter 91 to 108, is called the Epistle of Enoch. However, unlike the epistles in the New Testament of the Bible, which are known as the epistles of St. Paul, the epistles in the book of Enoch are not recognized as genuine letters. Instead, they evoke Enoch's final words to his son, Methuselah. Most of Enoch's letters recount the vision granted to him by God when he ascended to heaven, while also urging his descendants and family to live righteously, uphold justice, and remain steadfast in their faith. Here, he predicted the coming of the great flood, and indeed, this event later occurred during the time of Noah. He also mentioned the punishment for the wicked during the great flood and the final judgment of the apocalypse. This passage emphasizes the resurrection of the dead, as clearly mentioned in chapter 91, verses 13 to 14. Enoch's letter records the 6 divine oracles, listing accusations against the sinners, evidence from across the universe to condemn them, and a declaration of their fate after death. The Enoch letter consists of 2 parts, with the first part presenting a doctrine that shares many similarities with the predestinarian teachings of the Qumran group. And another part, appearing later than chapter 94, verse 4 and chapter 104, verse 6, emphasizes the personal responsibility of each individual. Typically, sinners and the wealthy are often depicted, while the righteous are portrayed as the oppressed. This theme also appears in the book of parables. The birth of Noah is mentioned in the Qumran fragments, separated from the preceding content by a blank line, making it appear like an appendix. The story tells of Noah's great flood, a man whose radiance from birth shone like an angel. The final appendix of the Book of Enoch does not appear in Qumran and is considered a later addition by the final editor. The passage highlights the emergence of light, standing in stark contrast to the fate of sinners drowning in darkness. Why was this book hidden away? Many early Christian church fathers such as Clement of Alexandria, Tertullian, Origen, and Athanasius, authors writing around the year 200 AD, noted that the Book of Enoch was rejected because it contained prophecies about Jesus that could not be accurately verified. This book was removed from the official scriptures of Tanakh, Septuagint, and Deuterocanon. The main reason the Book of Enoch was rejected by the Jews is that it contains teachings incompatible with the Torah, a collection of the first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible, including Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Torah, by definition, is simply the rules and teachings of Judaism. The Book of Enoch was widely known among early Christians in the 4th century AD, but was later banned by the Church and nearly fell into obscurity. Due to its unorthodox teachings and doctrines, it was excluded from the Bible.